up, gorgeous people? This is Amber's DIY and other stuff. My name is Amber Meeks. Today is Make It Monday, and on this video, I'm going to show you how to make a geeky Justice League clock. Why? Because why not? I'm just saying, these things would be very expensive to buy, but they're very cheap to make. So without further ado, let's see how I made this thing. Okay guys, we're going to start with this round piece of wood that has a hole in the center. It's intended to be a clock face. I got this on Amazon along with this pickling wash paint that I got from Joann Fabrics on clearance and a foam brush. So I'm just going to shake up the paint really quick and then I'm going to just kind of plop it onto this little wood surface here, and then I'm just going to spread it out with the foam brush. I did 2 coats of the paint on the front and the back side of the clock because I wanted everything to be uniform and the same, and I just made sure that I didn't leave any kind of streaks or anything like that when I was using the foam brush. So now we're going to move on to these Justice League cards. These were sent to me from the Heroes Tower in a challenge, so this is what I'm going to use to make the numbers for my clock. So I got the card here, and then I have this clear plastic container that I'm going to use to make circles with. So the reason why I wanted to use this clear plastic container is because I can see through it, so I can see what parts of the image will be included in the circle, and I thought that was really important and pretty cool that I had something like that on hand. I'm just saying. So I'm just like eyeballing it as I always do, and then I'm just, drawing out the circle with this Sharpie marker. Bada bing, bada boom. That part is ready to go. So obviously the next thing I want to do is cut this out, and all I'm doing here, guys, is making sure that I cut from the inside of where I drew the line so that I won't see any of that red marker on the piece that I will be putting on the clock. So obviously I want to do the same process with all of the other cards so that everything looks, somewhat the same. I just eyeball everything, guys. You know that. All right, now that all the cards are somewhat the same, I'm going to eyeball it again, but I highly suggest measuring it and getting the proper measurements for a clock. I'm just saying it will turn out perfect if you do it that way. But again, here I am eyeballing where to put them onto the board. And once I figure out where I think I like them best, I'm ready to start gluing them on with this super glue, which has a precision tip, but you can use any super glue for this, guys. I mean, these circles are pretty big, so any type of super glue that you can get your hands on will work perfectly for this project. So obviously I just spread it out all over the back of this and then try to find out where it's supposed to be on the board. And I have another tip for making sure you put it in the same spot that you originally had marked it at, and that is taking a marker and holding that circle down, super tight, and just getting underneath to the middle of it and putting a dot. That way you know exactly where it needs to be, and you can make sure that you're putting them all in the same location. Or you could just draw out all of your measurements like I should have from the start, and you wouldn't even have that problem. Okay, so you guys could totally stop right here and not do this next part if you don't want to, but I like loud and crazy, so I have these stickers that I got from Jean, and her channel is called Jean's Junk, and I want to use these to add some more embellishments to this clock because I want it to be super crazy and busy like all of the comic book pages are. So I'm just randomly placing these stickers onto the clock, guys. There's honestly no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing here, but as I'm placing the stickers on, I did notice that they weren't sticking, and I'm going to be sealing this with Mod Podge anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to go ahead and place them where I think they should go, and we're going to move on. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add the clock part of the clock. So I got this kit from Amazon, right? Now, I've never assembled a clock before, but I didn't think it should be that hard, right? So I just decided to flip it over and put, the back part in first. And then obviously I wanted that thing that's hanging the clock up to be where the 12 o'clock part was. So if I'd done my clock measurements like I had suggested to you guys, this wouldn't be a problem for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and somewhat put this thing on here, and then I'm just going to turn it to where that 12 o'clock part is, and I'll show you how I do that, which is totally not the way you guys should do this. I highly suggest measuring. I'm just not a measure kind of girl. So I'm pulling out these little clock parts here, and I'm thinking, okay, so it shouldn't be too hard to stick these on there, right? But then I'm like, oh, let me screw this thing on here first, and then I just realized you need some pliers to do that. So here's me screwing this on and trying to put it in place, and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go get my pliers, but let me turn this so that it's facing where the 12 o'clock is, so this is my method right here. I'm like, okay, I turned it. I think that's about right. So then I just kind of run my finger across the front of the clock or from the back to the front. Yeah, good enough, right? I think that's totally great measuring. Guys, seriously, measure your stuff. It'll make your life so much easier. Okay, so now I have my pliers. So now I'm going to go ahead and, put that tightly into place. And I hope it's going to hang straight. I think it does at the end. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. We'll find out here shortly. But nonetheless, that was my method for trying to put that in the right spot. So I'm going to do my little measurement one more time. Yeah, it worked totally fine. Awesome. Alright guys, so now I'm going to put these little clock parts on, and honestly I played with this forever. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was thinking everything needed to be on there super tightly, and that's like totally not the case because the little arms have to be able to move. So after playing with it for a while, I finally figured it out. Now here I am, everything's on good, and we're ready to move on putting the numbers on here. So all I have are these black numbers or the green numbers. Honestly, the black numbers are going to totally blend right in, and the green ones kind of sort of blend right in, but that's my only options right now. So I'm going to go ahead and use these green numbers to put in the center of my circles, and as you can see, they do kind of sort of blend in, like, you know, a lot, so it's kind of hard to tell the time, but you know what? This is a decorative piece of art, right? That's kind of sort of functional, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so now I have to work on sealing everything into place. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take my super glue here, and I'm going to super glue those bigger stickers into place. I'm not going to mess with the smaller ones because that's just going to be too much work. So I'm going to go ahead and stick some super glue on the back of these bigger stickers because I really don't want them moving around when I'm trying to Mod Podge them into place. So I kind of like this little design thing I have going on here, and I want to make sure that they stay where I want them to be. All right, so now that I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Mod Podge here. I have this super big container, so I put it into this smaller container to make it a little bit easier for me to use. So I'm just dipping my brush into the Mod Podge, and I'm going to put some on the back of those stickers first, and then I'm going to go ahead and seal them on the top. I'm not sure why I'm using from the lid there instead of the container. Who the heck knows? I guess I want to make sure that I use every single ounce of this up first. But at any rate, you guys get the idea. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this to the entire clock. I'm going to make sure to seal everything completely in place, and after I do this first coat, I go ahead and do a second coat just to make sure everything's really secure. And when using Mod Podge, I highly suggest that you make sure everything's smoothed out to the best of your ability, because the way that you see it is the way that it will dry. It dries clear, but if you see any clumps or anything like that, you're probably going to see those clumps when it dries. So just make sure to make it as smooth as you possibly can as you're brushing it on and sealing everything into place. So once I've done those two coats and let them dry, ta-da! This is what my clock looks like. I don't know, is that straight to you? I don't know, I think it's kind of sort of straight, and it looks like the little hands are pointing in the right direction. Nonetheless, let's zoom in here and take a look at all of this. As you can see, I Mod Podged those stickers into place. They are not going anywhere. This is super secure. I can hang this anywhere in my house. Guys, there are so many options for making a clock like this. You can use stickers and little cards like I did, or you can use paper. There are just so many options when you're securing things into place with Mod Podge. I hope that you guys found this tutorial somewhat helpful, if not entertaining. Let's go ahead and jump into my final thoughts. Okay guys, so making clocks is actually really easy, especially if you buy the clock kits that you can buy on Amazon or any place really, but I will have the clock kit that I purchased linked in the description box below. It was a really good deal, and you got like 3 pieces, so I can make 2 more clocks in addition to the one that I made in this video. But if you guys do decide that you want to make your own clock, the sky is the limit. It truly is. You don't have to use the wood base like what I purchased from Amazon. You could totally use cardboard or foam core board. Just be creative with it. But if you're going to use cardboard, make sure that you do layers of cardboard so that it's nice and, like, not nice and thick, but it's nice and sturdy. That's the word that I'm looking for. If you guys want to see me make one out of cardboard, let me know in the comments below, because I would definitely do that for you guys, because I have enough left in the kit to make some more clocks. Just saying. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you got some good takeaways from it, and make a clock of your own. That's all I got for you guys in this video, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye! Okay, guys, so making clock... But guys, it is so super easy, and you can get these kits very inexpensively on Amazon and turn the clocks in. Okay. Just make sure that it's sturdy. That's all I'm saying. You don't want to go too cheap with this. You want to definitely make it. Okay, we're talking too much. Okay, guys, so making clocks is super easy, right? Just think if you had. Okay, no. But I also wanted to make sure that you guys knew that you did not have to get like a wood piece that like what I used. Okay.